Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me clearly today. God is never late, and he is never wrong. Many of us are standing at doors that seem closed, frustrated, wondering if we've missed our chance or if life is passing us by. But here's the truth. The right door is not always the first door you see. Sometimes God has a much bigger plan waiting for you, and he's orchestrating it perfectly behind the scenes. You don't have to force it, push it, or stress over it. What I want you to realize today is this: worry does not change your outcome, but faith and patience do. Imagine for a moment that you're at an airport. You miss your first flight, you panic, you stress. But then you realize the next flight is a private jet, faster, more comfortable, and exactly what you needed. That's how God works in your life. Many of us are standing at a crossroads in life, staring at doors that seem closed and wondering why success hasn't arrived yet. We look around and compare ourselves to others, and the temptation is to panic, to force things, or to make rushed decisions that we later regret. But here's the truth I want you to hear: God's timing is never late, and it is never wrong. Too often, we measure our success by a clock that is not ours, and we try to rush into opportunities before we are truly ready. Imagine a farmer planting seeds in the ground. He doesn't dig them up every day to see if they've sprouted. He waters, he nourishes, and he waits for the season to produce the fruit. That is exactly how divine timing works in your life. You might feel like doors are closed, like nothing is happening, but in reality, something powerful is being cultivated in your favor. Let me hit you with a truth that most people miss. A closed door today could be the universe or God protecting you from the wrong opportunity that would have wasted your time, energy, and resources. Many people rush through life grabbing the first opportunity that appears, only to realize later it was not meant for them. It's like rushing into a room without checking if the floor is strong enough to hold you. You might fall through. Divine timing ensures that when the right door opens, you step into something that is fully prepared to support your growth, success, and destiny. The right timing aligns with your skills, your wisdom, your maturity, and your readiness to handle the blessing that is coming. Here's the key: patience is not weakness. Patience is strategic power. People see waiting as passive, but waiting on divine timing is active preparation. While you wait, you are learning, growing, and strengthening yourself for the moment that will define your future. Think about the greatest success stories. Every one of them has a waiting period. They had to endure, to study, to refine their craft, and to develop the mental toughness to handle what was coming. Waiting is not a punishment. It's a preparation stage. When you understand that, your perspective changes, your anxiety diminishes, and your faith grows. Now, let me give you a mental picture. Imagine standing at an airport and your flight is delayed. You panic because you're worried about missing connections or deadlines. But then a private jet arrives for you, ready to take you faster and farther than you ever imagined. That's how divine timing works. The delay is not a mistake. It's a setup for something greater. The problem is, many people see the delay and decide to take the first option available, even if it's not aligned with their purpose. Don't make that mistake. Trust the timing, trust the process, and trust that the universe, or God, is orchestrating every detail in your favor. And here's another hook for you. While you're waiting, doors are opening in ways you cannot even see. Connections are being made, skills are being developed, and ideas are being planted that will explode when the right door finally opens. Your waiting period is fertile ground for your breakthrough. The truth is, nothing in life worth having comes early or easy. Anything of true value requires patience, persistence, and alignment with divine timing. So I want you to repeat this every day. I trust the timing of my life. I trust that God's plan for me is perfect. I am growing, I am ready, and the right door is coming at the right time. Let that be your anchor when impatience knocks at your door. Every delay, every detour, every moment that seems like it's going nowhere is actually the setup for your next level. Stop forcing doors that aren't meant for you. Stop worrying about timing and start focusing on growth, preparation, and readiness. The right moment is coming, and when it does, you will step through with everything you need to thrive and succeed like never before. Many people look at a closed door and see failure, rejection, or the end of the road. But let me tell you something powerful. A closed door is never the end. It is a redirection. Life is full of moments where we think we have failed, where opportunities slip through our fingers, and we feel like the universe is against us. But here's the truth that changes everything. Every closed door is a setup for something bigger, something better, something that aligns perfectly with your purpose. Imagine you are driving on a road and suddenly a detour sign appears. At first, you feel frustrated, thinking this delay is unnecessary. But that detour takes you past a breathtaking view, a shortcut, or a hidden opportunity you would have never seen if you continued straight. That's exactly how God works in your life. Every no and every closed door is a redirection toward a path that will elevate you beyond what you imagine. Let me give you a story you can relate to. Many of the most successful people in history experienced doors closing on them, jobs they didn't get, partnerships that fell through, investments that failed. But those very doors that closed led them to their breakthroughs. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter found the right home. Oprah Winfrey faced countless career setbacks before she became a global icon. Steve Jobs was fired from the company he founded, only to return later and transform the world. The pattern is clear. Closed doors are not punishments. They are course corrections designed to guide you to your purpose. The moment you see a door closing, don't panic. Pause, reflect, and ask yourself what better opportunity might be waiting on the other side of this redirection. Here's a hook for you. Too many people panic when a door closes. They get anxious, they force things, they settle for what's available, and they miss the blessing that is truly meant for them. But those who understand redirection see closed doors as signals from life, from God or from the universe, telling them, not this way, but the right way is ahead. It's a subtle shift in mindset that separates the successful from the frustrated, the patient from the desperate. if you can embrace the idea that every closed door is a redirection rather than a rejection, you gain a power that most people never even understand, the power of perspective. Think about this: when one door closes, it doesn't leave you stranded, it nudges you toward alignment with your purpose. Many people waste energy trying to force doors open that aren't theirs. They fight against circumstances, against timing, against forces they cannot control. But what if instead of forcing, you trusted? What if instead of resisting, you moved with the redirection? That's when miracles start to happen. Opportunities appear, connections form. And the universe positions you exactly where you need to be. And here's something else to consider: closed doors are often a blessing in disguise. Sometimes a door that looks like the opportunity of a lifetime is actually a trap, a distraction, or a delay that would have cost you far more than you were ready to pay. God's redirection protects you from that. Every time a door closes unexpectedly, it is a signal to pause, to grow, to refine your skills, and to prepare for the next level. The lesson is simple when life says, no. Don't sulk. Don't give up. Don't get angry. Instead, lean into the redirection, embrace the pause, and trust that a bigger, more aligned door is on its way. Here's a phrase I want you to keep in your mind. Closed doors are not rejection. They are redirection. Say it, believe it, live it. Let it guide you when fear and doubt knock at your door. Every time something doesn't go your way, remember that your life is being guided, calibrated, and prepared for the doors that are truly meant for you. Stop wasting energy on the doors that aren't opening. Stop trying to force what isn't yours, and start focusing on growth, preparation, and readiness for the doors that will. When you grasp this truth, your life shifts, your mindset transforms, and you start walking boldly toward the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in the human experience, and yet it is also one of the greatest barriers to success. Too many people allow fear to dictate their decisions, to hold them back from pursuing opportunities, and to convince them that they are not capable of achieving greatness. But here's the truth I want you to grasp. Fear is always louder than faith when you let it run unchecked. Faith is quiet, steady, and strong, but it requires a choice. You must choose to believe, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. Many people are standing at the threshold of their breakthrough, hesitating because fear whispers, what if it doesn't work out? What if you fail? What if you get hurt? Those whispers are lies, distractions, and traps. Faith, on the other hand, says, I may not see the whole path, but I trust the one who does. I will step forward anyway. That choice, to believe over fear, is what separates the average from the exceptional. Let me give you a story to make this real. There's a young entrepreneur full of ideas and ambition, but paralyzed by fear. She could see the potential. She knew the market was ready, but every time she tried to move, fear held her back. Then she made a decision. She would take one bold step forward, no matter what. That single act of faith changed her life forever. Within months, opportunities she had only dreamed of began to appear. Doors that were once invisible became wide open. Here's the hook. The difference between where she was and where she ended up wasn't luck. It was faith over fear. Faith is action, belief in motion, and courage applied consistently. Fear is hesitation, delay, and doubt that stops you from stepping into the life you were meant to live. Now, here's a principle most people miss. Fear thrives on uncertainty. The moment you begin to trust God, the universe, or the process, fear loses its grip. You see, fear only has power when you focus on what could go wrong. Faith only has power when you focus on what could go right. You must consciously choose which voice you will listen to. It's not about pretending fear doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging fear and deciding to act anyway. Every person who has achieved extraordinary success in history did not eliminate fear. They simply refused to let it dominate their decisions. Faith doesn't eliminate fear, it overpowers it. Here's another hook. Fear will always be present when you step outside your comfort zone, when you aim higher, when you pursue a dream that is bigger than your current reality. But fear is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that you are moving in the right direction. The bigger the fear, the bigger the reward waiting for you on the other side. Faith says, I will step forward, I will take the risk, I will trust the process, and I will not let fear control my future. Think about this. Every time you allow fear to dictate your choices, you trade potential greatness for temporary safety. You settle for mediocrity when destiny is calling for excellence. The difference between those who succeed and those who merely survive is simple faith over fear. Faith allows you to take the steps that fear says are impossible. Faith allows you to pursue opportunities others pass by. Faith allows you to endure challenges that would stop someone who only listens to fear. Here's the most important hook. Fear will always try to convince you to quit, to delay, to take the easier path. But faith will always remind you why you started, why you are capable, and why the right outcome is already in motion. Faith is your anchor in the storm, your compass when the path is unclear, and your engine when the journey feels impossible. Every time you act in faith, even when fear screams otherwise, you build momentum, you build courage, and you move closer to the destiny that is uniquely yours. Too many people look at waiting periods in life as wasted time, as if nothing is happening, as if the universe is ignoring their efforts. But let me tell you something powerful. Waiting is not inactivity. It is preparation. While the world sees a pause, God sees a setup. Every delay, every moment of stillness is an opportunity to build the skills, the mindset, and the resources necessary to handle what is coming. Think about an athlete preparing for a championship. They don't show up on game day without training, without practicing, without sharpening their abilities. They use every second leading up to the big day to ensure that when the moment arrives, they are ready to perform at the highest level. That is exactly how waiting works in your life. The doors you are waiting for will not open to someone who is unprepared. They open to those who are ready, willing, and capable. Here's a hook for you. While you wait, your purpose doesn't pause. Too many people believe that just because they are in a waiting period, they should do nothing. They scroll, they complain, they worry, and they stagnate. But preparation requires action. It requires learning, growing, and sharpening your mind, your skills, and your character. Every closed door, every delay, every not yet is a divine invitation to become better than you were yesterday. The question is, will you use the waiting period as an excuse to remain stagnant, or will you use it as a launch pad for your breakthrough? Those who understand preparation while waiting are the ones who eventually achieve extraordinary success. Let me give you a story. There was a young entrepreneur with a brilliant idea, but the funding, the timing, and the network weren't aligned. Most people would have quit, but he chose to prepare while he waited. He studied his industry, built relationships, refined his pitch, and sharpened his skills. When the moment finally arrived, he didn't have to scramble or panic. He was ready. The opportunity that might have seemed delayed turned into a massive breakthrough because he had positioned himself perfectly. That is the power of preparation during waiting. Here's another hook. Too many people let impatience ruin the process. They want instant results, immediate success, and immediate recognition. But life's greatest rewards are reserved for those who prepare while others quit. Waiting is not a punishment, it is a divine advantage. While others are rushing, stressing, and panicking, you have the chance to become exceptional, to outpace the competition, and to be ready for doors that others will never even see. Think about it this way. The right opportunities will never align with the unprepared. The universe, or God, doesn't hand blessings to someone who is unready. Opportunities require readiness, and readiness requires preparation. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every relationship you nurture, every bit of personal growth you commit to during the waiting period compounds to create a position of power when the right door opens. And here's the most important hook. While you wait, keep moving. Preparation is active, not passive. Study, grow, practice, and serve. Build the character, the wisdom, and the resilience that will allow you to step into your breakthrough with confidence. Waiting without preparation is wasted time. Waiting with preparation is investing in your future. The doors that seem distant or delayed are not mistakes. They are opportunities to become the person who can walk through them fully equipped. Your breakthrough will not come to someone who is passive, distracted, or unready. It comes to those who see the waiting as a gift, a period to strengthen, sharpen, and rise above. Every delay, every pause, and every challenge is a divine classroom teaching you lessons, giving you experiences, and preparing you for the destiny that awaits. Too many people settle in life because they are afraid to aim higher, because they are tired of waiting, or because they lack the confidence to claim what they truly deserve. But let me tell you something powerful. Settling is the enemy of destiny. Settling means trading your potential for convenience, your vision for comfort, and your purpose for a temporary fix. Every person who achieves extraordinary success understands one thing. Opportunity is only valuable when it aligns with your true purpose. Accepting less than what you are capable of is like planting a seed in poor soil and expecting a forest to grow. You might get a small sprout, but you will never see the greatness that is possible. Here's a hook for you. The right door will demand the best version of you. And if you settle for less, you may never be ready to walk through it. Think about the stories of history's greatest achievers. Oprah Winfrey could have settled for a small local broadcasting job. J.K. Rowling could have accepted a publisher who offered a minimal contract. Steve Jobs could have remained in a company where his vision was limited. Instead, they refused to settle. They understood that their greatness required them to wait, to fight, and to reach for doors that truly matched their potential. Settling may bring short-term comfort, but it guarantees long-term regret. The moment you settle is the moment you limit yourself. Here's a hook that hits hard. Settling is often disguised as practicality. People say, I'll take this job because it's steady, or I'll accept this relationship because it's convenient, or I'll pursue this path because it seems easier. But convenience is not destiny. Comfort is not greatness. The universe is not designed to reward those who compromise their potential. It is designed to align with those who aim higher, who refuse to settle, and who persist until they claim what is theirs. Settling creates a life that looks safe on the outside, but feels hollow on the inside. You can never be fulfilled by accepting less than what God, the universe, or destiny has prepared specifically for you. Let me give you a story you can relate to. There was a young professional who was offered a comfortable position at a company that would pay the bills, but would not challenge or grow her. She felt the pressure to accept it, to be practical, to play it safe. But instead of settling, she waited, invested in herself, learned new skills, and positioned herself for a role that matched her vision and passion. When the right opportunity came, she walked into it fully prepared, fully confident, and fully aligned with her purpose. That's the power of refusing to settle. The difference between mediocrity and excellence is your willingness to wait, prepare, and claim what is truly yours. Here's another hook. Settling often comes from fear. The fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. But fear is a liar, and settling is its trap. The right door will challenge you, stretch you, and demand that you rise to your full potential. If you choose comfort over courage, convenience over vision, and compromise over conviction, you will never experience the life that you were created to live. True success requires patience, persistence, and the refusal to accept anything less than alignment with your purpose. Think about this. Every great opportunity that has ever changed someone's life required them to refuse the temptation to settle. Doors that lead to wealth, influence, impact, and fulfillment do not open to those who accept mediocrity. They open to those who are patient, prepared, and persistent. Every moment you resist settling, every time you choose faith over fear, you are positioning yourself to walk through doors that others will never even see. Settling may feel safe in the moment, but it steals your potential, it limits your influence, and it robs the world of what only you can give. Here's the final hook. The right door is never the easiest, the most convenient, or the first available. It is the one that challenges you to rise, the one that demands excellence, and the one that aligns perfectly with your purpose. refuse to settle, and watch as life begins to open doors that were made specifically for your greatness. Persistence is one of the most underestimated keys to success, yet it is also one of the most powerful. Many people start with enthusiasm, with big dreams, with high energy, but when obstacles appear, when doors close, or when results don't come immediately, they give up. Let me tell you something that can change everything. Persistence is the bridge between where you are and where you are destined to be. It is the force that turns setbacks into comebacks, failures into lessons, and delays into breakthroughs. Here's a hook for you: the person who refuses to quit, who keeps pushing, and who keeps showing up will always outlast the one who relies solely on talent, luck, or timing. Consistency in action, faith in the process, and determination in the face of adversity create results that nothing else can replicate. Think about history's greatest success stories. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Every failure was not a stop sign. It was a lesson, a refinement, a step closer to success. The truth is, most people give up just before their breakthrough. They see obstacles as walls instead of stepping stones. They see rejection as a stop sign instead of a redirection. Persistence is the mindset that says, I will keep going no matter what. I will learn, adapt, and rise above every challenge. When you embrace persistence, you stop being a passenger in your life and start being the driver, navigating through challenges with purpose and determination. Here's another hook. Persistence is not blind repetition. It is intelligent action applied consistently over time. It's about learning from mistakes, adjusting strategies, and never allowing setbacks to define your potential. Too many people confuse persistence with stubbornness. Stubbornness is repeating the same mistake over and over. Persistence is adjusting your approach while never abandoning your vision. It's about resilience, courage, and an unshakable belief in your ability to reach the goal that has been set before you. Let me give you a story to illustrate this. A young entrepreneur launched a business that failed multiple times. Investors turned him down, clients ignored his offers, and the market seemed saturated. Most people would have quit, but he persisted. He studied his mistakes, refined his business model, and continued to reach out to opportunities that others overlooked. Within a few years, that same business became a multi-million-dollar company. The secret was not luck, it was persistence. Every no he faced, every door that closed, and every challenge he encountered became fuel for the breakthrough that eventually came. Here's a hook you need to remember. Persistence builds momentum. Each small action you take compounds into larger results over time. Every day you refuse to quit, every effort you make, every lesson you absorb strengthens your position. It's like pushing a boulder up a hill. At first, progress is slow, exhausting, and sometimes invisible. But the consistent push creates movement, and eventually, the boulder reaches the summit. Persistence wins because it turns seemingly impossible challenges into inevitable success. And here's the most important truth. Persistence is not just about effort. It is also about belief. You must believe in your vision, your purpose, and the right timing of your life. fear, doubt, and obstacles are inevitable, but persistence allows you to endure, to learn, and to act despite them. Every person who has achieved greatness has faced moments where giving up seemed easier, but they refused. They understood that success is not instant, it is cumulative, built one persistent step at a time. Think about this: your persistence today is the foundation for your future victories. The doors that seem locked, the delays that feel endless, and the obstacles that feel insurmountable are all temporary. Your consistent, persistent effort is what will eventually open those doors, break down those barriers, and position you for a level of success that most people only dream of. Persistence is the ultimate power, the secret weapon, and the difference maker that ensures those who keep going will win, no matter how long the journey takes.